I can explain the reason why Dan Alexander has wanted to have sex with every woman all along, because he wanted to find a way to get closer to himself, and every other person that he would meet that would get closer to himself would make him feel more like me. And it was harder to do with guys because guys have, personas that they have to hold up, and it's at a certain age you get a certain way, and everyone actually knows that that's true because God had figured it out through Dan's mind. Awesome. The Belief Buster exercise. I know that part of every person of every religion starts to understand what I'm talking about and knows that the God part inside of them, the fragment of the light, the piece that understands the difference between having a body, a mind, a soul, a heart, knows that those are all different things instead of one. I mean, our human body is a gathering of things, and they always wonder what happens to us after we die. Well, the truth is we do never die. I mean, and I just say, I don't want to say never, that's why I said do never. We never die. I mean, never say never, but you guys know what I mean. Anyway, that's not important the way I explain that. But we really never cease to exist, no matter how it happens. Like even if there was a holy war, no matter what imagery, no matter what plane I enter in my mind, or no matter what plane anyone will enter in their mind, I don't think anyone, now that you've been alive, you can imagine what it would be like to totally shut off completely, and never wake up. So once anything has had the consciousness or the reality of never waking up, it can't believe in not waking up. So that's why when we go to die, we're like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen when I die. But right before you die or right when you die, you wake back up into what you really are. And then you end up confused, and you sometimes end up in one plane or the other plane, or this plane or that plane, and people end up contacting you, and you freak people out here, and you freak people out there. Or some people catch you in a dream because you have access to the other planes easier after you die, but you don't have access to all of them. Most people don't have access to any of them because they never practice those kind of things before they die in their normal life. And some people get them right after they die, before they find the sun, like on their way to the light, on your way all the way to the light, you find those planes that seem to be lost in the galaxy right now, like the atmospheric places that you start being able to fly around and check out. Like you're like, whoa, this is what really happens. Like your particle light flies around the atmosphere to all the once experimental places that we've started as God. As God tried to put life on planets and stars and stuff like that, and they failed. He would, he didn't throw them away because they're still his creations and he loves them. He is that unconditional. He's not going to destroy any star or any of his creations. And every time we create a new thing, he's not going to destroy it. He's letting us do all our own stuff. I guess that's the way to put it. He's letting us do all our own stuff, but he's creating it for us if we believe in it strong enough. If we believe in him and it, whatever you want to call it, the part of me that shows up a lot lately, the part of you that shows up very seldom, but you can tune into it better. And actually, I know that now I'm the only one lucky enough to get the whole story, and I feel stupid admitting that I was told that, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I found the frequency first. I will never, ever, as Dan Alexander, and even as God talking through me, will ever mean, or I might even joke around and say, ha, 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 but I'm saying right now that I don't want to, so I'm going to try really hard not to. No matter how frustrated I get with people not believing what I'm saying, I will never try to, and even after I get the same person who made me feel so horrible, or, I don't know, try to, I don't know if I can feel horrible. I just pictured feeling horrible for a second, and I was like, that doesn't really matter all that much. Why would you feel horrible? So I don't think I can feel horrible anymore, because now I know that I can float around in the fucking galaxy. Why would I worry about ever feeling embarrassed, or why would I ever even feel stupid about walking around naked all day long, whacking out, like I was trying to say this to other people, not just trying to sound gross, but why would I even feel dumb about, I don't masturbate because I don't want to, but why would I even feel dumb walking around in the mall, stopping in the middle of the mall, whacking off, this is totally gross, I'll put it on something else, like whacking off onto an old lady's shoe, and saying, hey, can you lick that off for me, and take that off and lick it, something's that gross and that morbid and that stupid, and I wouldn't do that. No, I swear to God, I swear to our God, I swear to us that I wouldn't do that. So I could do any of that stuff, and no matter what happens to me in this human life, it doesn't really matter. Like, I know where I go to. I know where we all go to. I know where you'll go to, whether you believe we go there or not. You're just going to be confused on one of the many other planes. I know 7 or 8 of them. I can't name some of the possibilities of ones that I've seen, but they seem like branches of the other ones. Like each plane has its branches, I guess. Or it's just part of that branch. Just like each state has its counties, or each country has its regions, or whatever. It's like, I don't know. I forgot that I was talking to my phone. I was talking out loud to myself, talking out loud to God, God talking to me, forgetting that I was even using my phone. I looked over like, am I still recording? And I'm like, oh yeah, I did start recording again 5 minutes ago. But I didn't know that I did, because I actually tried to sit back and I thought I hit play on a meditation and started talking, and I guess it's me recording myself. My God, or my God. God wouldn't let me stop just yet. But God, I'm going to stop now. I love you. If I have to say the words amen and for you to know I love you, I know in my mind you're telling me I don't. But I want to tell you how much I love you. I love you. Amen. I love that. Thank you. I'm very grateful that I have understood my higher consciousness. I'm very, very grateful that I have the courage to tell people without worrying about being ridiculed. Whether I worry a little bit or not, I'm still brave enough to say it. And I'm grateful for the fact that I'm so unknowing of what other people are going to do in reaction to me telling them where they come from. I'm going to tell people stuff they already know, and how are they going to react to me? The people are going to react the most to me that don't listen to what I have to say. If you listen to all the stuff I have to say, if you take, I recorded so much so far in 7 days. In 7 days, I could have just told you everything you need to know, at least enough to start believing. If this isn't enough to tell you that I'm not making this shit up, then kill me, I guess. But I think anyone who listens to this stuff with an open mind and an open heart and really listens with the piece of them that we all are, they'll understand that this at least is 99.999% true. This is everything. Jesus and the word God aren't that big of a deal. Jesus was a great human being. I'm telling everybody, I'm not putting any of these people down. The people that we've heard the great things about, they've done great things. But on another plane, they've done the horrible things. Each person has ended the world in one plane or another. Each person, each bug has caused some kind of end of the world. I haven't seen each bug's thing, because I haven't seen each bug's thing or tried to choose or tried to tune in, but I know that I could. If I learned about a bug and somehow could find a way to listen to a bug's memory, or talk to a bird's thing, or talk to it, whatever, and have it actually understand that I'm really talking to it and trying to listen to it, it'll tell me. And I've seen those planes where I can talk to things, but I haven't seen those planes or been able to focus in my mind to put them in English words of how I would talk to the tree and make it do something. Or there's all kinds of different aspects of everything, like from the life of dirt for 1,000,000 billion years, the life of a particle for each particle for 1,000,000 billion years, the life of each piece of water for 1,000,000 billion years. How much knowledge is that to know in the brain? Guess what? It's all there, and it's easily one blip of time in my mind now. And I can tap into it anytime. Like sometimes I get so lost in it, and I feel like a zombie just going on and on. Like I don't even know if I'm talking English, but then I listen to it, I'm like, whoa, I said that in English, cool. I just feel like I'm relaying my universal message, and it's coming out of me in human form, but I'm just saying it the way I'm just saying it I'm letting it come through me the way God's saying it. And it's coming through me the best way I can interpret it, or He can interpret it through my mind, or I can interpret it through my mind when I'm trying to think and do it. When I'm trying to think of what He's saying while He's saying it, I end up messing Him up, or end up messing my speech up, and it's because I'm trying to talk as myself, and I'm trying to let Him through. I know that's hard to believe, and I know that I've already seen every attempt of me trying to talk through every person, or trying to get everybody's consciousness, and trying to get what their past is, and trying to do. I've seen every million possibilities of my mom, every million of my dad, every million of if we go this way, every million if we go that way. I know it's hard to fathom in your mind, but each person's mind can fathom a lot more of their life. And once they started remembering all their memories, they could remember a lot more in their life, and they would join like a higher consciousness. And once they start remembering they've done in that generation, if a whole generation every person remembered everything they've ever done from the beginning of time for a generation, you know how much that would be? That's nothing compared to how much I've seen, because it all happened and it's all done in our mind, but it's all still yet to come. It all took no time, but the way we measured it as one thought, as the beings that created from that beam of light of thought, of a mix of spiritual, science, mass, everything going on. I mean, this could honestly be on the scale of a microscopic dot floating around in space, or it could be the size we project it in our minds to be. It could just all be an illusion, and it really all is. And I know it's hard to explain, and we'll never be able to put our mind on that because we don't want to. If we've thought our minds and we put the belief totally in our heart that this is really a 100% the word illusion, then we'll just be a big hologram and we won't feel anything, or we'll be like the different form of a robot in a spiritual form that loses its, like a spirit that loses the soul part, or whatever you call it. Maybe the spirit is the soul, but maybe the spirit loses its light part, or maybe the light loses its spirit part, and we just go back to light with no sense of recognition. And are certain beings do, because the being, the God itself started before the sun, and started before that started before the sun. So nothing is going to stop it at all. Like, no matter how we could imagine it in our minds, nothing is going to stop it, because there's something that's always going to have been created by it that knows it's there, even if it's on a planet we couldn't think the name of, or no matter how hard I try in my brain as Dan, or as God in my brain trying to talk through me, I can't think of the names of any of the other planets, because I feel like I would just be making them up to sound cool. Like, God told me the name of the planet, blah, 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 blah. You know, like, I mean, in one plane, I mean, I could picture myself saying, I've been to the planet, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, I haven't, because I haven't tried to zoom in on that reality in whatever plane it could be in. Like, any imaginary plane is still another plane of reality that could happen if somebody tapped into that person's imagination, tapped into that person's dreams, tapped into that person's frequencies. That there's a number of frequencies going on, so high in number, so high in volume, so many that nobody would ever be able to say a word in a lifetime that's big enough to explain how many possibilities have gone on, and have all, up to this point, and way farther beyond this point, gone through my mind. Some of them clear, some of them very unclear, some of them I'm really trying to learn about, some of them I would want to forget about, but all of them I've accepted. Wow, I can't believe I've just been talking this